Picture this. It is September 2026. You walk into an Apple store, you want a new iPhone, and every single option on the table starts at $999. No budget option. No, just get the base model escape hatch, the more affordable iPhone 18 and iPhone 18. They are not coming until spring 2027. Apple just changed the game, and the iPhone 18 Pro Max is sitting right in the middle of all of it. Here's what that actually means for you. And there is one upgrade on this phone that I think nobody is talking about correctly. We will get to it. This is a full breakdown of the iPhone 18 Pro Max. Everything rumored, everything confirmed, and what I actually think matters. Three things about this phone could make it one of the more consequential Pro upgrades for day-to-day use in several years. Longer battery life, engineered from multiple directions simultaneously, a chip architecture with genuine structural changes underneath the speed numbers, and the first physically variable aperture camera in iPhone history. We are going through all of it. But the thing I want to start with is the strategic move Apple just made, because it changes the entire context of this phone. For over a decade, Apple has released all iPhone models simultaneously in September. The iPhone 18 changes everything. This represents the most dramatic departure from Apple's established pattern since the iPhone's inception. Let that sit for a second. For the first time, the split is said to be necessary for manufacturing reasons, not just marketing. So it is not purely a power move to sell you the Pro, it is also a supply chain problem dressed up as a strategy. The staggered approach aims to optimize resources and maximize Apple's revenue from premium models amid rising memory chip costs and supply chain pressures. One supplier executive described a smoothly functioning supply chain as one of the key challenges this year, which honestly is the most Apple sentence I have ever heard. Supply chain pressure, translated, they could not build everything at once, so they are making you pay more, faster. By separating the launches, Apple reduces direct competition between product tiers, making it easier for consumers to distinguish between standard and Pro offerings. Translation number 2, if there is no cheap option in September, the cheap option is the Pro. That is not a coincidence, that is a business model. Okay? Let us get into the phone itself. The most significant internal advancement is the A20 Pro chip, fabricated on TSMC's advanced 2nm process. This represents Apple's first 2nm mobile processor, projected to deliver approximately 15% higher performance and up to 30% greater energy efficiency compared to the A19 series, 30% more efficient. Here's why that number matters more than the performance jump. Efficiency does not show up in benchmarks. It shows up at 11 at night when your phone still has 34% battery left. The chip will incorporate advanced packaging technology that integrates memory directly with the processor, benefiting on-device Apple Intelligence capabilities. So the AI stuff, actually useful this time, not the "Hey Siri, set a timer" stuff, real on-device processing that does not need a server to think. With iOS 27 and upgraded hardware, the iPhone 18 Pro is shaping up to be Apple's most AI-focused device yet. And here is something I do not think enough people are talking about. Apple may allow users to download extensions to Siri that would allow for integration with ChatGPT, Gemini, or Claude. There will reportedly be a special section in the App Store for these AI tools, so you are not locked into Apple's AI anymore. You can bring your own. That is actually a big deal. This is the one I want to spend real time on. All three rear cameras now feature 48 megapixel sensors. The addition of variable aperture technology provides greater control over light intake, allowing natural background blur in portraits and sharper images in bright conditions. Variable aperture. This sounds technical, it is not. Here is the simplest way I can explain it. Right now, your iPhone camera has one fixed aperture, like a window that is always the same size. Variable aperture means the window changes size depending on what you're shooting, more light at night, less light in bright sun, so your photos do not blow out. Adjustable depth of field for portraits. A variable aperture system gives users more control over depth of field, potentially improving portrait shots, low light photography, and scene flexibility in different environments. The last camera category to get this right was DSLR cameras. This is not a spec sheet flex. This is a genuine photography upgrade. And here is the part that is actually wild. A variable aperture may come to at least the Pro Max, if not both models. So if you specifically care about the camera and you are debating Pro versus Pro Max, this might be your deciding spec. We do not know for certain yet, but that is where the reporting points. The iPhone 18 Pro Max is widely expected to feature a substantially larger battery, with capacity estimates ranging from 5100 to 5200 milliamp hours. Combined with the efficiency gains of the 2nm A20 Pro chip and improved display technology, this configuration is projected to deliver class-leading endurance. For context, the iPhone 17 Pro Max weighs 233 grams. The 18 is going to be a little heavier to house that battery, expected to push the weight over 240 grams. Is that a problem? Honestly, no, you do not feel 7 grams. You do feel running out of battery at 3 in the afternoon. The math here is stacked in one direction. Bigger cell, more efficient chip, better display technology. The iPhone 18 Pro and Pro Max are expected to feature new display technology that allows higher refresh rates while using battery power more efficiently. 3 separate things all pointing toward longer battery life simultaneously. That does not happen every year. Design-wise, it is mostly the same. The iPhone 18 Pro and Pro Max are expected to retain the core design language of the preceding generation, featuring a titanium frame and a prominent triple-lens rear camera array, most likely a smaller dynamic island with some components of Face ID under the glass. Smaller dynamic island. We have heard this before. We heard it before. The 17 Pro, near identical smaller dynamic island rumors circulated before the iPhone 17 Pro launched, and the cutout shipped the same size it always was. So, filing that under wait and see. What is more interesting is the color lineup. New color options include light blue, dark cherry, dark gray, and silver. Dark cherry. Multiple rumors have suggested Apple is testing a deep red finish for the iPhone 18 Pro models. The color is expected to be more of a dark cherry with a tinge of purple rather than a darker red shade, purple-tinted dark cherry on a titanium frame. That is going to look unreal. Or deeply weird, probably both. The Pro models are expected to debut Apple's in-house C2 modem, replacing Qualcomm components. This is a big deal for reasons that have nothing to do with 5G speed. When Apple controls its own modem, it controls battery efficiency, thermal performance, and security at the hardware level. Qualcomm does not get a seat at that table anymore. The C2 modem will support a privacy-focused setting that cuts down on the location data available to mobile networks. Networks will not be able to determine your exact locations. Instead of seeing location down to an address, carriers might see only the neighborhood. That one feature alone is quietly significant. And then there is the satellite story. The iPhone 18 Pro Max builds on its satellite communication features, offering expanded functionality. Users can now send and receive regular text messages in areas without cellular coverage, particularly valuable for travelers in remote locations or emergency situations. Regular text messages over satellite without cell service, that is not a gimmick anymore. Here is the moment everyone has been dreading. The iPhone 17 Pro starts at $1,099 in the United States, and the iPhone 17 Pro Max starts at $1,199. Despite increased component costs associated with the 2 nanometer process and memory market conditions, analysts anticipate Apple will maintain relatively stable pricing. The iPhone 18 Pro is expected to start at approximately $1,099, with the Pro Max at $1,199, consistent with prior generations. Same price, more phone. I will be honest, I did not expect that. Apple analyst Ming-Chi Kuo does not believe Apple will raise the price of the iPhone 18 Pro models, with the company instead absorbing added memory costs to gain market share. Analyst Jeff Pu believes Apple will adopt an aggressive pricing strategy despite ongoing global memory shortages. Aggressive pricing strategy in the same sentence as "we are the only iPhone you can buy in September." Interesting. So, should you buy the iPhone 18 Pro Max? Here is my honest take. The upgrade case for Apple's fall 2026 Pro lineup is not about what you will see on first glance. It is about what you will feel over a full day of use. Longer battery life engineered from multiple directions simultaneously. A chip with genuine structural changes and the first physically variable aperture camera in iPhone history. If you are on an iPhone 15 or older, yes, straightforward. If you are on a 16, you will notice the camera and the battery, probably worth it. If you are on a 17 Pro Max, this is genuinely harder. If you already own a recent Pro Max model, the upgrade may feel incremental. If you're coming from an older device or planning a long-term upgrade, the iPhone 18 Pro Max may offer better efficiency and slightly improved long session comfort. And here is what I actually think the real story is, the thing I said we would come back to. 2 distinct iPhone launches per year means that no matter when you buy your new iPhone, it will be at most 6 months old rather than a year old. Apple just quietly fixed the worst thing about iPhone buying cycles, the September buyer's remorse, where you buy in September and by the following January, you feel behind. That is structurally gone now. Nobody's talking about that. They are calling this a cynical cash grab to push you to Pro, and maybe it is. But it also just accidentally became one of the better things Apple has done for consumers in years. The iPhone 18 Pro Max lands in September 2026. The question is whether the variable aperture actually performs the way the leaks describe, or whether it is another smaller dynamic island. I genuinely do not know yet, but I am curious. Are you upgrading, and is Apple's split launch making you more likely to go Pro, or are you waiting it out? Tell me below.